The story begins in a high school art room, bathed in the quiet, late afternoon light. Daichi Kawada, a boy with glasses and a slightly wary expression, is in the middle of a frustrating task. He's hunched over a workbench, sawing a piece of wood with palpable exhaustion. Internally, he laments his current situation. Despite being a member of the art club, he has been saddled with the unreasonable request of building a wooden comment box for the school equipment committee, with a deadline of as soon as possible. As he awkwardly saws back and forth, thinking about what a pain this is, he senses eyes on him. Sitting nearby in the mostly empty classroom is a girl with long, light-colored hair. She has been staring at him for a while with a sharp, intimidating gaze. Daichi starts to sweat nervously. He knows of her. She's that scary-looking girl who always hangs around the art room after school. He tries to deduce why she's glaring. He notices she hasn't been drawing at all, just sitting there. He figures the grating sound of his clumsy sawing and hammering must be ruining her concentration. The tension spikes when she suddenly stands up and approaches him. "Excuse me," she calls out. Daichi flinches, bracing himself for a complaint. It was her own fault for staying in a noisy room, he thinks defensively, expecting to be yelled at. Instead, she slams a tool down onto his workbench with a loud bang. This blade, she declares intensely, pointing at his work, is for making a rip cut. Daichi is stunned. She hasn't come to bully him, she has come to critique his craftsmanship. She leans in, her face flushed with frustration, and unloads a barrage of technical corrections. "Your movements were so unstable. You don't know how to use a saw. You're even using the wrong side of a sledgehammer." Before he can process the scolding, she snaps, "The way you're using these tools is so careless." She grabs the saw from his hand and orders him to step aside. In an instant, the atmosphere shifts. The girl ties her hair back, her demeanor transforming from scary to focused. She takes position at the bench. With a smooth, rhythmic motion, she slices through the wood with perfect precision. Daichi watches in awe as she handles the saw like a natural extension of her arm. She transitions immediately to the hammer, driving nails in with solid, confident strikes. Daichi stands there, mesmerized. The girl he thought was a delinquent is actually a master craftsman. She works with a distinct, cool aura, almost wearing her dedication like a coat. Within moments, she steps back. There. On the table sits a perfectly constructed wooden box, far superior to anything Daichi was attempting. "It looks a little better, doesn't it?" she asks, though it's clearly an understatement. Daichi blushes, genuinely impressed. She's amazing, he thinks. He bows his head slightly, thanking her. "You're such a big help. Thanks." The girl turns away, her cheeks dusting pink. She tries to play it cool. "It's no biggie. Besides, I did it because I wanted to." Daichi looks at her, then at the sketchbook she had abandoned earlier. He realizes that while she is a wizard with wood, she had been sitting in front of a plaster bust of a statue, struggling to draw. He decides to return the favor. "I'll draw it for you," he offers, sitting down at the easel. He explains that just like he struggled with the box, it's hard to draw when you feel forced to do it for an assignment. He picks up the charcoal and begins to sketch. The girl watches him work. As his hand moves across the paper, capturing the likeness of the statue with fluid, practiced strokes, her eyes widen. She is captivated by his ability to see the details she missed. Internally, she realizes that watching him draw reveals the beauty in the subject she had previously found frustrating. Daichi finishes the sketch, a beautiful, detailed rendering of the statue. He hands the easel pad to her. But as he does, he notices something about the sketchbook in her hand. By the way," he asks innocently, reaching out, "this sketchbook is a little different from the one provided by the school." He flips the cover open to see her previous work. Panic erupts, the girl screams. In a flurry of motion, she kicks Daichi away and snatches the book back, her face exploding in red. "Don't just look without permission." She scrambles to her feet and dashes out of the classroom, slamming the door behind her, leaving Daichi sprawled on the floor, confused and in pain. Moments later, the teacher slides the door open. "Sorry I kept you waiting." He stops, seeing Daichi on the floor. The teacher notices the girl is gone and asks if she was there studying art. Daichi, rubbing his bruises, admits he doesn't know the details, assuming she was perhaps in detention. The teacher corrects him. No, she always works on her assignments earnestly. Daichi stands up and looks at the workbench. The sturdy, well-made box she built sits there, proof of her skill and sincerity. He then glances down at the floor where her sketchbook had been. He recalls the glimpse he got of her drawing. It was clumsy and rough, a stark contrast to her carpentry, but it showed she was trying. The following afternoon, the art room is once again filled with noise, but this time it isn't the sound of sawing wood. A relentless, rhythmic booming echoes through the school walls as the taiko drum club practices nearby. Daichi sits at his easel, trying to indulge in what he calls his secret pleasure, painting in the quiet afternoon light. But the pounding rhythm makes concentration impossible. He sighs, thinking the art room must be cursed. Yesterday, it was his own construction noise, and today it's the drums. He isn't the only one suffering. The scary girl from yesterday is back. She sits at a desk, clutching her charcoal pencil, her brow twitching with irritation as the bang vibrates through the floor. Daichi glances at her. She's been waiting there since yesterday, presumably for the art teacher. Observing her indoor shoes, he notices the color code matches his own, meaning she's a third-year student, a senior. He watches her struggle to focus. Suddenly, she catches him staring. She immediately hugs her sketchbook to her chest, her eyes sharp and defensive. The memory of him seeing her clumsy drawings yesterday hangs heavy in the air. "I'm the president of the art club," Daichi stammers, trying to break the awkward tension. "I just wanted to apologize for yesterday." She looks away, her expression bitter. "You'll laugh at my poor drawing skills. Laugh at me again, won't you?" "No, I won't laugh." Daichi insists, waving his hands frantically. "I didn't even laugh yesterday. I think it's really good. The lines are very thorough." He gathers his courage, thinking back to the wooden box she built. "You can be a professional craftsman. That box you made is really popular with the committee." Besides, he looks her in the eye. The drawing of someone who can make such a beautiful box can't be bad, can it? The girl blushes, her guard dropping for a split second. "Really?" But then she narrows her eyes, suspicion returning. "Are you making fun of me?" "What?" "No." Daichi sighs. He feels like he's walking through a minefield. She turns back to her paper, scribbling aggressively. Daichi decides to try a different approach. He walks over and places a simple white cylinder, a geometric prop, on the desk in front of her. "Well, perhaps there's no need for me to get involved, but," he points to the object, "you may want to try doing it step by step. Simple motifs like this make it easier to understand the structure." She stares at the cylinder, then up at him. The hostility in her eyes fades into curiosity. "Simple motifs. People who come to study art usually do it for exams," she says quietly, her voice more vulnerable now. "Are you going to take art university exams?" Realizing she thinks he's just an academic student. "If I can draw," she admits, looking down at her hands, "I thought it might be useful. For my work." "Work?" Daichi asks. Before she can explain, a deafening bang rocks the room. The taiko practice has reached a fever pitch. Daichi flinches, covering his ears. "Ah, the taiko club." That is the final straw. The girl slams her hands onto the desk, an aura of pure rage erupting around her. "I'll give them a piece of my mind," she growls, looking like a demon ready for war. She storms out of the art room, the floorboards rattling beneath her stride. This is bad, Daichi thinks, panic rising. He chases after her, imagining a violent confrontation. Down the hall, inside the practice room, the taiko club members are slumped over, exhausted. Big, muscular guys pant heavily, complaining that practicing once a week isn't enough. Suddenly, the door slides open with a sharp clack. "Wait!" A female voice cuts through the air. The girl stands in the doorway, glaring at the sweaty drummers. Daichi catches up just in time to hear her shout, not about the noise volume, but about the quality. "What's with that dull sound?" she demands. The club members look confused. Are those muscles just for display?" She yells, pointing an accusing finger. "You didn't put enough effort in pounding. Don't forget your frustration from last year. Our club will be disbanded for sure if you play like that." One of the drummers blinks. "Who are you? A taiko club member?" She ignores the question and walks straight up to the massive central drum. She runs her hand along the wooden rim with a gentle, reverent touch. "No way," she whispers, inspecting the instrument. "As the maker of this drum, I just want to hear the best sound coming from it." Daichi freezes. He looks closely at the label on the side of the massive drum. "Sojisaki Drum Shop." "Maker?" He thinks the pieces finally clicking together. The girl ties her hair back, revealing the nape of her neck, and rolls up her sleeves. The transformation is instant. The angry high school girl vanishes. The master craftsman takes her place. She picks up the thick drumsticks, her stance wide and grounded. Daichi watches, breathless. I didn't even have time to delve into that matter. He realizes, his heart beating faster. She's a legit craftsman. She raises the sticks, her eyes locked on the drum skin with intense focus. Daichi finds himself unable to look away. It isn't just respect for her skill anymore. It's something deeper. Her serious expression, fierce and beautiful, hits him like a shockwave.